Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boys' game.
Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
A room in right center. If he hits one there, we can dance in the streets. The 2-1. Swung line drive, left field. One run is in. Here comes Green. Here's the throw to the plate. He is.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Play ball.
Good evening, y'all, and welcome to what could be the last game of the 2023 Major League Baseball season. We have the Texas Rangers coming into tonight, one win away from their first ever World Championship. We're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play, right here on Braves Country Radio. Hope y'all are having a good evening as they're doing the final warm-up tosses. We're just about set. Texas will be in their road blues with the white pants, Texas across the chest. Arizona in their home whites. We'll go through the starting lineups as they come to the plate. Leading off for the away Texas Rangers, we'll start the night off with Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, and Evan Carter. Zach Gallen is firing the last few warm-up tosses. As you are listening live, we are here in Phoenix, Arizona, Chase Field, as the Arizona Diamondbacks are set to take on the Texas Rangers. Texas leads this series 3-2 2-1. If there is a game 6, it would be Friday night back in Arlington, Texas, where quite frankly, Arizona has played much better and Texas has not played nearly as well. You could make the argument that Arizona should have been up 2-0 heading back home. They had game 1 up by 2 heading into the 9th inning when Sewald gave up the home run that tied the game, and Garcia went on to win the game in extras. Then, of course, Merrill Kelly pitched well in game 2 and got that W. But when you're outscored 13-0 in innings 1 through 3 in the last 2 games, kind of difficult to get a foothold on the game. Marcus Semien is making his way to home plate. And it is about that time, baseball time, in Braves radio country. The pitch on the way from Gallen is off the plate, wide out of the zone. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. Gallen trying to lower his ERA north of 5 in these postseason games. The 1-0 pitch, 96 miles an hour, down and away, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Bruce Bochy going for his 4th World Series title, winning 3 with the San Francisco Giants. The righty-righty pitch, swing, and fouls it out of play. We'll do it again. Yes, Robert, we will be doing football games. We haven't nailed down the actual schedule, but we've got a roundabout idea of what we're going to do. The 2-1 pitch swung on, lifted high in the sky, not very deep, playable into center field. Alec Thomas will make the catch, and there's one away. Beginning a new job this coming week, so I won't be able to do Monday night games. Have to get up incredibly early on Tuesday. But I am planning on doing quite a few Thursday night football games, as I still have to get up early, just not quite as early on Fridays, excuse me. First pitch on the way to Corey Seager is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. We always do, we always do the Army-Navy game, and that will once again be happening right here. Is the 1-0 pitch. Curveball called for a strike on the outer edge. It's 1-1. We're planning on doing quite a bit of Thursday night games, the better ones. The problem with the Thursday night schedule is the 1-1 pitch right there at the knees, 95 miles an hour, and it's 1-2. The first one that we would be able to do, because we're not going to have enough time to get ready for the one tomorrow night, would be next week, Panthers and Bears, and I don't think we're going to do it because the 1-2 pitch swung on, ball is rifled foul down the first base line. It's 1-2. Panthers and Bears are an incredibly bad game to start off with, and we have not gotten any interest from the stations picking that up. The 1-2 pitch swung on, hit on the ground, right over to Perdomo. Perdomo has it, fires it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out, 2 away. Now, if that changes, once again, just like and subscribe, and we'll let you know as we add them. But we are planning on doing NFL Thursday night games, most of them. And when we get closer to the postseason, some college and NFL games. First pitch on the way to Carter is on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Really depends on my work schedule around it, but I do plan on doing quite a few football games. The 0-1 from Gallen. Time is called. Moreno wants to go out there and talk to Gallen, talk it over. And as we add them, we will put them on the card that we share on the screen as we go to break. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and inside. 1-1. So a 1-1 to Carter. He's back in the 3 slot. The pitch on the way. Swung on. Chop foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Gallen comes set. He's going to step off the rubber for a second as Carter calls time. I do know November 16th, Thursday night, Ravens-Bengals, we are doing that one. I do know that one for a fact. Gallen back to work. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Texas trying to close out the World Series so far. Quiet on the front as we head to the bottom of the first.
Nobody wants a wild card.
You get so drunk.
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing?
ACC football covered like no other here on the Armchair Quarterback.
Reggie Gillespie dives into the end zone. The winning points for North Carolina State. And the teams come together in the end zone, pushing, shoving between the back and the heels as Gillespie has scored the winning points. His 5th rushing TD, but these teams need to be separated. The emotion boils over on the last play of the game as Gillespie goes to the end zone.
And Carruthers gets into it, and they've doused him, and now we've got a big brawl out on the field. Mooring would have been the 200th victories for Bobby Bowden. Look at this. That's an ugly mess down there. This is ugly. Starting to get it cleared up down there, although there's still some bodies flying around.
ACC football, backyard brawls all year long.
I'm up. Biggest pick of the draft. 5th pick, 6th round. TJ Hoshimazode. Yes. Lock it up.
Who?
What? TJ, how's the vanilla? All right. TJ, who's your mama?
Fantasy Rule 17. Know how to pronounce your draft picks.
You mean TJ Houshmandzadeh from the Bengals?
Put him on the board. Hoshimazole. Got it. Championship.
Fantasy football time.
New York Giants second baseman John Montgomery Ward was a rarity among players, a graduate of the Columbia Law School. And in an age when workers everywhere were struggling to win their rights, he was willing to take on the club owners on their own terms. Ward publicly denounced the reserve clause, which now kept every player from deciding for himself where he wished to play, and forced him to accept whatever wage his owner was willing to pay.
There is now no escape for the player. If he attempts to elude the operation of the rule, he becomes at once a professional outlaw, and the hand of every club is against him. Like a fugitive slave law, the reserve clause denies him a harbor or a livelihood and carries him back bound and shackled to the club from which he attempted to escape. We have, then, the curious result of a contract which on its face is for 7 months, being binding for life. John Montgomery.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Nathan Eovaldi. Corbin Carroll is a curveball right there at the knees. Called for a ball. It hit the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from Eovaldi. High and out. 96 miles an hour, 2-0. Brian Knight, your home plate umpire. The 2-0 pitch. Outside wide, 3-0. So a 3-0 count. Valdi comes set. The pitch on the way. Outside wide, ball 4. So Nathan Eovaldi starts the game off with 4 straight balls, though the first one was in the zone. And it's 1 on, nobody out, and Carroll can fly. Corbin Carroll leading off at first. First pitch on the way. Corbin is going, and he is safe. A foot first slide. He steals first base on the very first pitch. And the Diamondbacks have a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. It was a strike called on the play. It's 0-1. Carroll didn't waste any time. Pretty good throw by Heim, but a great jump. And, of course, Carroll's got incredible speed. The 0-1 pitch. Marte drops a bunt, bangs it off the plate. Foul. 0-2. Oh-2 count. Nathan Eovaldi. 6 pitches in. Carroll bouncing off of second base. The 0-2 pitch swung on, grounded over to second. It's going to be a 4-3 putout on the play. Carroll goes second to third. Moves up 90 feet and is 90 feet away with the go-ahead run and only 1 out. Marte heads back to the dugout. Almost looks like he might be limping. We'll have to keep an eye on that. First pitch on the way to Moreno is 92-mile-an-hour fastball right there on the edge. It's 0-1. Infield is in. The 0-1 pitch. Down and in. Tried to get him to chase one over the top. Looked like the splitter. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Right at Seager. He'll stop the ball. Fired over to first. And it's a 6-3 putout. 2 away. That was an atom ball. Right place, right time. Good pitch by Eovaldi. Now with 2 outs, the infield can go back to their regular positions. The first pitch on the way to Walker is a bender way out of the zone. Good stop by Heim. Keep that from going to the wall. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty. Kicks and deals. Swing and fouls it back. 1-1. Christian Walker now batting .278 in this World Series. Struggled mightily in the postseason. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss up top. It's 1-2. He's gotten a few hits over the last couple of nights to raise that average. So a 1-2 count. Eovaldi kicks and deals. Swung on, rifled, foul, and out of play. Do it again at 1-2. The 1-2. Eovaldi delivers inside. Did he go around? They're going to check down the first base line. Bill Miller says he did not. Evens up the count at 2-2. Texas nothing. Arizona nothing. Bottom of the first inning. Game 4 went to Texas, as well as game 3. We're in game 5, and Texas leads it 3-1. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and fouls it down the line. Do it again at 2-2. So a 2-2. Eovaldi comes set, kicks and deals. Just off the edge. He would have liked to have had that call, but it did look like it just missed the zone. So full count now. Runner on third, 2 outs. The pitch on the way. High and inside, ball 4. Christian Walker will head on down to first. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, and Tommy Pham comes to the plate. Pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. So an 0-1 to Pham. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. 0-0 your score. Bottom of the first. Game 5 of the 2023 World Series. The 0-1 pitch swung on, hit over to Seager, deep in the hole. He'll backhand it, fire it over to first, and it's a 6-4 putout, and then the inning. Diamondbacks threaten, but fail to score. We'll be back in a flash, heading to the top of the second.
Oh, dear, I forgot to put out that bread they brought.
We forgot to bring it in.
No, I brought it in. They never put it out.
Where is it?
I don't know. Where'd you put it?
Right over there.
Well, it's gone. Who would bring a bread and take it back?
Those people, that's who. I think they're sick.
You stole the bread?
Maybe they forgot to put it out. They didn't forget to put it out. It's deliberate. Deliberate, I tell you.
I'm up. Biggest pick of the draft. 5th pick, 6th round. TJ Houshmandzadeh. Yes, lock it up.
Who?
What? TJ Houshmandzadeh. All right. TJ, who's your mama?
Fantasy Rule 17. Know how to pronounce your draft picks.
You mean TJ Houshmandzadeh from the Bengals?
Put him on the board. Houshmandzadeh. Got it. Championship.
Fantasy football time.
And it turned out that old Honus was the best third baseman in the league. He was also the best first baseman, the best second baseman, the best shortstop, and the best outfielder. That was in fielding. And since he led the league in batting 8 times between 1900 and 1911, you know that he was the best hitter too, as well as the best base runner.
He had a powerful build. His 5'11", 200-pound frame, it was said, featured a massive chest that might have come from a barrel maker's shop, and shoulders broad enough to serve dinner on. His legs were badly bowed, but he had huge hands and arms so long, opposing players swore he could tie his shoes without bending over. Nothing seemed to get past him, and he threw so hard to first base that pebbles, scooped up as he fielded grounders, were said to arrive along with the ball.
You're listening to Braves Country Baseball on Braves Country. back. Righty-righty matchup. Gallen goes back to work. The first pitch to Garver is right there. Called low for a ball. I guess it's 1-0. Brian Knight already off to a rocky start behind home plate. The 1-0 pitch. Right there at the knees. Got that one right. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Kicks and deals. Right there on the edge. Called for a strike. This time got the call, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Gallen comes set. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. They need Gallen to be Gallen if they're going to have a chance to win this game. Gallen has, well, I mean, there's no other word for it. He's choked throughout these playoffs. Moment has been too big for him, but maybe being back at home here, he'll have a chance to get his nerves together and give him a good 5 or 6. So that'll bring Josh Young to the plate. Young takes the first pitch just off the edge for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swung on. That ball is rifled over to short. Perdomo's got it. Fires it over to first. 6-3 put out, 2 away. Two down, and Nathaniel Lowe will come to the plate. Lowe, 2 for 14 this series. Ouch. A 464 OPS. The number 6 hitter takes a swing at the first pitch. That'll be an out. 4-3 put out. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Texas goes very quietly. We'll be back in a flash. 0-0 your score.
Being alone isn't that bad. It's a great opportunity to get to know yourself and be comfortable with who you are.
Tana, I already love myself. I just want to French someone.
Don't miss a moment of heart-stopping NFL coverage on Armchair Quarterback Radio.
Riggins. He's going to go all the way unless Blackwood can catch him, and he can't.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. Caught it! Dwight Clark!
Only 12 seconds left to play third quarter. Here's Marcus Allen cutting back upfield, and Marcus Allen could be gone. 74 yards for Marcus Allen.
The quiet man of this football team, Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now. Here we go with 8 seconds to play. High drama here in the Super Bowl. But in the air, it's got the distance.
You know how I feel. I will be proud to lead you wonderful guys into battle anytime, anywhere.
In 1903, weakened by their own squabbling, the National League owners sued for peace. Van Johnson had won. A new national agreement was negotiated. Now there would be 2 major leagues, separate but equal, honoring one another's contracts, both retaining the reserve clause that kept players bound to their owners for life. A 3-man national commission was appointed to settle disputes and see that the regulations were enforced. Power was supposed to be shared equally, but Van Johnson saw to it that he was really in charge. The players were not represented.
Bottom of the second inning, Gurriel comes to the plate. He'll take the first pitch, 96 miles an hour on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 from Eovaldi. Turns and fires. Swing and a miss. Good cutter. Down and away. It's 0-2. O2 count. Nobody on, nobody out. Eovaldi lifts the red glove and kicks. Swing, and that ball is rifled back up the middle. A leadoff single for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Gurriel takes a spot at first. Nobody out. That'll bring Alec Thomas to the plate, the center fielder from the left-hand side of the dish. Hasn't done a whole lot last few nights, but he was really hitting well beginning of this series. First pitch on the way to Thomas is swung on, chopped foul off the plate. It's 0-1. Texas nothing. Diamondbacks nothing. Bottom of the second inning. The 0-1. Eovaldi comes set. Heim out wide. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Just over the top of that splitter. Good pitch by Eovaldi. Really should come to no shock as they showed a second ago on the screen that as the 0-2 pitch from Eovaldi. Kicks and fires. 94 just misses high and inside. 1-2. Eovaldi only trails El Duque, John Smoltz, and Kurt Schilling in winning percentage in the postseason, career postseason. Now, they're aided by the fact that they play a lot more postseason games nowadays. So if you have a loss here and there, you can easily make up for it. But he's always been a bulldog in the playoffs. When they signed him in the offseason, I thought it was a great signing. I was surprised that more teams didn't go after him. So a 1-2 count, runner on first, nobody out, pitch on the way, swung on, chopped over towards second in between Simeon and the bag. It's grabbed by Seager. He'll fire it over to first. 6-3 put out on the play. Gurriel makes his way down to second base. Was going to be an awkward attempt for Seager to try to beat Gurriel to the bag. So he took the easy play and fired it over to first. One down, one on, another runner in scoring position. Longoria to the plate. He takes the first pitch and swings and hammers that into left field. Sliding catch by Carter. He'll fire it over into second base. Just back in the nick of time is Gurriel, and there's two away. Good defensive play by Evan Carter. That ball was sinking fast. I thought it was going to get down. Thought we were going to get a station-to-station deal with Gurriel having to hold up. But Carter just got under that ball, making the sliding catch, then popping up and firing over to second. That'll bring Geraldo Perdomo to the plate. Perdomo, righty-lefty matchup. The switch hitter takes the first pitch. Curveball outside the zone for a strike. On the outer edge of the zone, for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to GP. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Splitter over the top. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way high and out of the zone. 95 miles an hour, misses high. 1-2 the count. Runner on first. 2 outs. 0-0 your score. Pitch on the way. Down and misses just below the zone on the outer edge. Splitter diving away. Evens up the count at 2-2. Deuces wild here in the desert. Bottom of the second. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Eovaldi comes set. The pitch on the way. Swung on, chopped foul back behind home plate. We'll do it again. Time is called. Eovaldi wants a new ball. Home plate umpire Brian Knight flips one out there to him. The 2-2. Eovaldi comes set. The pitch on the way. 95 high and in. Full count. Standing on deck is Corbin Carroll. Payoff pitch. Swing! And that ball's lifted into right field, coming in, making the catch. Right fielder Jankowski, and that'll end the inning. Arizona once again threatening, but fails to score. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the third, game number 5.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Go to college, grad school, work?
Most people know the name Billy Martin from the Pine Tar incident in 1983, but not too many people know that it wasn't the first time he called out another team for breaking the rules. On April 25th, 1981, the Oakland A's are visiting the Seattle Kingdom to face off against the Seattle Mariners when Martin senses something is off. He thinks the batter's box looks a little bigger than normal and asks the umpire to break out the ruler and measure it. The verdict? It measured 7 feet, not the customary 6 feet. If you're wondering, the extra foot was in the direction of the mound. After the game, the Mariners groundskeeper admits he was expanding the box under orders from Seattle manager Maury Wills. As a result, Wills was suspended for 2 games and fined $500. His reasoning was he wanted players to stay in the box, but Martin suspects he does it to gain an advantage over his pitching staff, who throws a large number of breaking balls. It couldn't have helped too much because during Wills' time with the Mariners, they go 26 and 56. A little over a week after the incident, the new owner of the Mariners fires Wills on May 6, 1981. For everyone who knew about the Pine Tar game, now you know about the batter's box game.
Armchair.
Gehrig had become the best hitter in the American League, driving in runs at a faster clip than Ruth, but he still had to settle for second billing. The two men were growing increasingly distant, and now Gehrig became obsessed with setting a record no one could ever match. Since May of 1925, he had not missed a single game, and despite aches, sprains, and fevers, he determined never to take himself out of the lineup. "Why don't you take a rest?" someone asked him. "There's no point to it. I like to play baseball, and if I were to sit on the bench, the worry and fretting would take too much out of me."
Braves Country HD. Please like it. Welcome back. First pitch on the way. From Gallen to Heim is swung on, banged on the ground over towards first. Be an easy 4-3 put out. One down. One down. Pitch on the way to the left-handed bat of Letty Tavares, the number 8 hitter tonight. Down below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. 93-mile-an-hour fastball just missing. The 1-0. Curveball just grabs the bottom of the zone, evens up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 just off the edge, wide. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss to the knuckle curve. Just misses it, fouls it back. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count to Tavares. Nobody on, tie ball game. Righty lefty. Gallen comes set. Infield on a shift towards the right side of the infield. Outfield straight back. The 2-2 pitch swung on, lifted high into center field, drifting back, making the catch is Thomas for a long out, number 2. Tavares gave that ball a ride. Just got too much air underneath it. That'll bring Jankowski to the plate. Texas still looking for their first base runner. First pitch on the way to Jankowski is up the middle. Should be an easy play. It is. 6-3 put out. And 3 up, 3 down. 9 up, 9 down. Perfect through 3 will head to the bottom of the third.
No, you don't drink. You're just acting. In fact, last night at the bar, he was acting so good they had to carry him to his room.
Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today. Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE.
Can we move the rubber back, pitching rubber back? How about just like a foot? How about 3 feet? How about that?
Have you ever thrown a ball 60 feet, 6 inches?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever hit the glove?
Yes, I have.
With a catcher squatting?
So every time with this. It's between here and here. It's almost nothing.
Okay.
Your son would barely know.
No, that's not true. Right now we have, up to today, because I looked at it, there's a starting pitcher's $115 million on the IL right now.
So that was,
and relief pitchers, there's $48 million.
And so this is going to cause more?
Yes!
What's happening now with the
Because my instinct is if I'm standing here and now I have to stand here, there's going to be a little more of a...
All those guys you say are getting hurt with your pitching rubber 60 feet, 6 inches. So maybe that's a problem.
Oh, okay. So let's bring it back
closer
to second base.
That's
You
what
move
you're
the mound back, the pitcher's rubber back. I don't care how much. There will be an increase in injury.
Stengel used a system he had learned long before while playing for John McGraw, platooning. Left-handed hitters would often be benched against left-handed pitchers. Right-handed hitters went for weeks without facing a right-handed starter. He also relied heavily on relief pitching.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Corbin Carroll is swung on. That ball is rifled back up the middle. It's going to be a leadoff single for Carroll, and he's right back at it. Good piece of hitting by Corbin Carroll. 1 on, nobody out to start the bottom of the third. Carroll got on his first time via the walk and stole on the very first pitch. First pitch from Eovaldi, kicks and fires, misses down and in, quickly looks over his shoulder. So Carroll's definitely in his head already. It's 1-0. Carroll with a pretty good lead over there at first. The 1-0 pitch, down and in, 2-0. The rookie is definitely in the veteran's head. He is quick pitching, short stepping towards the plate, and can't find the zone. The 2-0. Carroll bouncing back and forth, pitch on the way, down and in, ball 3-0. So Carroll, not only has he gotten on base twice, but it looks like he's about to work Marte. He's already in a favorable count, could be working him aboard. So a 3-0 count. Pitch on the way. Carroll goes. He is gone. Base is stolen, but I believe that was a walk. That was a walk. Second base umpire gave the safe sign, did not realize that the pitch missed out of the zone. Pitch missed well out of the zone, just waiting for the official call. Mike Maddox is going to go out there and talk to Eovaldi. Eovaldi's so far pretty shaky in this start. Eovaldi, 2 innings pitched, 3 walks, no strikeouts. The over-under on his strikeouts, by the way, tonight was 4.5. Waiting for Maddox to get done with his powwow at the mound. While you do that, I don't think...
Get this bus moving.
Go ahead.
Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call.
Yeah. Roll call.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Goat, Willis, VT, Robert. I saw. Yeah, there we go. Joyce and Daniel. Welcome in. I think I said Robert. So back to the action. First pitch on the way. Moreno drops a bunt. Gets a good bunt down. Eovaldi jumps on it, flips it over to first. A 1-3 put out, but both runners will move up 90 feet. Good evening, Willis. Good bunt by Moreno. Just pushed it up the first base side. Tell you what, it really is refreshing to see, as the first pitch on the way to Walker is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. To see a team that actually still plays get them on, get them over, get them in. Or as we used to call back in the 80s when Whitey Herzog ran the St. Louis Cardinals, they used to call that Whitey ball. The 1-0 from Eovaldi. Down and in. Good block by Heim. Kept it in front of him. Runners will stay put. So runners on second and third, one out, the 2-0 pitch, swung on, chopped foul off the plate towards the third base side. We'll do it again. It's 2-1. The 2-1, Walker digs in, pitch on the way, swing, and fouls that out of play. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Scoreless game, bottom of the third. Game number 5. If Texas wins, it's over. Arizona wins, we go to Texas Friday night. The 2-2 pitch swung on, bangs that foul down the third baseline. We'll do it again. It's 2-2. Two the count. Runners on second and third. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Eovaldi picked a great time to get his first strikeout of the night. And there's 2 away. Just blew it right by him on the outer edge. Walker must have been looking for the soft stuff. He was a hair behind. 2 down. That'll bring Tommy Pham to the plate. Pham swings at the first pitch. Ball's hit hard on the ground, but right at Seager. He'll flip it over to first. 6-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. Arizona once again threatens, but fails to score. When we come back, Texas looking for their very first base runner.
I'm here to tell you one thing. You ever go whining to the big man again about between you and me, we'll have a problem, my friend.
Big news and the big games covered in the Big Ten by the Armchair quarterbacks all year long.
3rd down and about 22. As Smith drops the throw, he's got his tight end open, but he's got Carter downfield, and he's gone. Michigan leads the game with a first touchdown on a bullet, a bomb to Carter, 71 yards.
There he goes. So long. Ohio State touchdown.
That's that old 1-2 punch. You take 2 of the first time and then have it the second time.
In his career, Lorenzo White 15 times rushed for 100 yards in a half. 5 of those this season.
Long throw to Ryson, and he's open all the way to the 6-yard line.
Big Ten football covered in the Southeast by the Armchair quarterbacks.
In the 1906 World Series, the Cubs were heavily favored to beat their crosstown rivals, the Chicago White Sox, called the Hitless Wonders because the team averaged just .230 and hit only 7 home runs all season. But no one had counted on the superb pitching of White Sox ace Ed Walsh, master of the spitball.
Big Ed Walsh? Oh, brother. You talk about spitballs. I think that the ball disintegrated and got back together when the catcher got hold of it. I think when it went past the plate, it was just spit going by.
Ed Walsh totally overpowered the Cubs. He pitched a masterful 2-hit shutout to win the 3rd game and then went on to win the 5th. The Hitless Wonders had won the World Series.
Braves Country HD. Please like and subscribe. Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Simeon is grounded over to short. It's going to be a quick 6-3 put out. Zach Gallen, perfect through 3 1/3, has only thrown 28 pitches. Hard hit ball, but a one hopper that Perdomo was able to backhand, leap to his feet, and flip it over to first on a one hop. Good accurate throw, and there's one away. First pitch on the way to Seager. He reached well out of the zone on that one, dribbles it over to second, and there's 2 away. So they are absolutely just giving at bats away here in the early going. Nothing, your score. Top of the 4th. Carter digs in. The first pitch, well outside wide, 94 miles an hour, misses. It's 1-0. We'll put the card up at the next break. Thank you, Jason, for putting it together. We do have a first few football games that we know we are doing, and we put those on the list. The 1-0 pitch right there at the knees for a strike. It's 1-1. We'll be adding to this, and there are other games that we're looking at for the month of November, but we know we are doing these. The 1-1, down and in, 1-2. Or excuse me, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Carter trying to break up the no, the perfecto. 2 down, top of the 4th. The 2-1 pitch right there at the knees. Touch below, but got the call. 2-2. The 2-2 from Gallen. He's gone 4-seam, knuckle curve, and then back to the 4-seam. The 2-2 pitch to Carter. Kicks and deals, down and away. Tried to get him to chase that one off the edge, full count. Full count to Carter. Garver stands on deck. Carter, 2 for 3 lifetime coming into tonight's game versus Gallen. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Carter down on strikes. We'll be back in a flash. Braves Country Radio's World Series 2023.
It's just unfortunate because I think it got blown out of proportion. It's just friendly, competitive banter. But I guarantee you, if you were to mic both dugouts, you're going to hear certain things that, people could take offense to. But for me, didn't mean anything by it. Honestly, like Francisco got a hanging slider, I got a hanging slider, and I asked him nicely to throw another one to Danny. And it's just friendly, competitive banter.
Armchair.
Braves Country Today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country Today, Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country Today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE.
You play to win the game.
The idea of going to the ballpark, say in 1900, was that the urban masses would get a taste of country pastoral air, that they would breathe in, that their lungs would expand by cheering. Baseball grew in the cities. It is an outgrowth of gambling. It's an outgrowth of crookedness. It's an outgrowth of drinking. It's a roistering, boisterous event. It is as wild as the Wild West.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Eovaldi to Gurriel is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Bender just misses wide. Curveball on the outer edge of the plate. 2-0. So a 2-0 count to Gurriel. Eovaldi at 50 pitches through 3 innings. The 2-0, Nathan deals right there at the knees. Cutter for a strike. It's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, bang, foul down the third base line. It's 2-2. Two count. Scoreless game, bottom of the fourth. Eovaldi comes set. The pitch on the way. Swing and hits it high into left field. Coming in is Carter. He'll make the catch for out number 1. If you're just joining us, Arizona has had plenty of opportunities to score in every inning, has yet to push one across. Meanwhile, Zach Gallen's throwing a perfect game through 4 versus Texas. First pitch on the way to Thomas is right upstairs for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Alec Thomas. Righty lefty. Kicks and deals. Swing and fouls it down the line. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth. Eovaldi turns and deals. Curveball in the dirt. It's 1-2. One-two count. Righty lefty. The pitch on the way. Swing and chops that foul off his instep. Thomas walking it off. Appears to be okay. Do it again at 1-2. Thomas taking his time out to kind of reset himself. The 1-2 pitch. Turns and fires. Swing and grounds it over towards second. Simeon's got it. Flips it over to first. 4-3 put out. 2 down. So 2 down. Pitch on the way. Just below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. Evan Longoria 0 for 1. The 1-0 just misses outside. 2-0. The 2-0 from Eovaldi. Swung on, lifted high into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. kicks over to the foul territory. Janikowski fires it over to second. Good throw by Jankowski. But Longoria is in there for a 2-out double. Good hustle by Longoria. Good. I see you talking about the Bills. It looks like, if I've got this right, I don't know if I'm doing the math right, but it looks like as the first pitch on the way to Perdomo, it's right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Looks like Saturday, December 23rd, we will be doing that game. It is a night game versus the Chargers, 8:00 Eastern. The 0-1 pitch off the plate wide, 1-1. I know we're doing the game. I'm pretty sure it's a Saturday night game because I believe Christmas is on a Monday this year. So a 1-1 count. I'll get Jason to double check that, but I'm almost positive that's a Saturday game. The 1-1, down and in, 2-1. Yes, that is a Saturday game. Saturday night game. We're going to pick and choose some Sunday ones. Those are just really tough for me to do because of my family, but we're trying to bring folks the other games. As the 2-1 pitch is swung on, foul back out of play. It's 2-2. I had originally planned on doing Monday night games, but I start a gig this coming week, and I have to be up at about 4:30 in the morning on Mondays and Tuesdays. And I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't happening because they'll drag those games out till midnight. The 2-2 pitch, high and out of the zone, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Runner on second. The pitch on the way. Caught, looking, strike 3. And he blew it right by him on the outer edge. Perdomo doesn't like it, but that definitely grabbed the zone. Home plate umpire Brian Knight hasn't had the best night behind the plate, but that was definitely right there on the edge. We'll be back in a flash. It's scoreless, and the Rangers are hitless.
What did you do?
I gave him a new look. It's cute, huh?
Yeah, it's cute. That's the problem. I don't need other girls to see him walking around like sex on a stick.
She's right, I'm too hot. The controversial Carlos Correa, who just signed a contract with the Twins, has a lot of playoff experience. In fact, he has 45 playoff wins, which is more than the entire Minnesota Twins franchise has, with only 33. Tom Brady initially retired on February 1st before unretiring 40 days later on March 13th. Carlos Beltran was briefly the Mets manager from November 1st, 2019, before stepping down 76 days later on January 16th. This means that Carlos Beltran was the Mets manager longer than Tom Brady was retired.
Armchair.
Gosh sake, you've been arguing for 2 weeks. Now stop it. Help me with this crossword puzzle. I need a 4-letter word for disappointment.
Eric.
It fits.
Just outside the old Huntington Avenue ballpark, home of the Boston Pilgrims of the New American League, stood the Third Base Saloon, so called because it was the fans' last stop on the way home. Its owner was the bartender, Mike Magee, known as Nuff Said, because he was the final arbiter of all barroom disputes. His customers, Irish immigrants mostly, called themselves the Royal Rooters and considered themselves the most loyal of all Boston fans, though their loyalty was actually comparatively new. They had been National League fans until the National Leaguers raised ticket prices 2 years earlier.
You're listening to Braves Country. Welcome back. Mitch Garver takes the first pitch from Gallen, who's perfect through 4. Right there for a strike on the inner cut. It's 0-1. Righty, the 0-1 pitch, down and away, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Comes set, swing, and might have got a piece of it. Either way, it's a strike. It's 1-2. Curveball in the dirt. Knuckle curve at that. The 1-2. Rocks and fires in the dirt. Tried to get him to chase that knuckle curve again. This time he held off. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Gallen only at 39 pitches. Pitch on the way. Swung on, rifled, foul down the line. We'll do it again. It's only at 40 pitches now because Texas continues to swing early and often. Though they've hit a couple of them hard, they've been right at the defenders. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball's hit foul down the right field line. We'll do it again. It's 2-2. So Thursday, November 16th, 2 weeks from tomorrow night, will be our first NFL game. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball is lifted, but fouling out of play. We'll do it again. We would be doing next week, but it is an awful matchup. It's the Bears and the Panthers. Two teams that are tanking. The 2-2. Gallen comes set, swung on, lifted high and deep into left field. Not quite deep enough. Making the catch on the warning track is Gurriel, and it's a long, loud out. To start the 5th. So 1 down. Nobody on. Pitch on the way to Josh Young is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Folks who have had success against Gallen in the past, Simeon is 5 for 11 lifetime. Seager 7 for 22 is the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Garver 2 for 7, the only one who's hit a home run, and Carter 2 for 3. Other than that, very little success, or very few times have they seen the Arizona right-hander. Pitch on the way to Young, swung on, chopped, foul down the third base line. It's 1-2. So 1-2 count. Gallen comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and That ball is sawed off, foul over the first base side. We'll do it again at 1-2. The 1-2. Rocks and fires. Swing. And that ball's lifted high and deep into left center field. Making the catch at the track. A running catch by Lourdes Gurriel. That was a heck of a play. 2 away. Long way to go. Stealing what would have been the very first hit for the Texas Rangers. Perfect through almost 5. Zach Gallen will now face the left-handed batter Lowe. Lowe takes the first pitch down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Lowe, his first time up, chopped one over to second on the first pitch he saw. The 1-0 pitch right there at the knees. 88 miles an hour. Just over the caps on the dish. It's 1-1. So he's gone 4-seam and changeup. Gallen comes set. The pitch on the way. Down and in. 2-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball misses low. Standing on deck is Jonah Heim. Top of the 5th, 2 outs. The 2-1 pitch. Down and away. Did he go around? He did not. Ball 3. So Gallen, who has not allowed a base runner yet, his first 3-1 count that he has ran. Heim stands on deck. The 3-1 pitch. Down and in, ball 4. So there's the perfect game. It goes by the wayside. He still has the no-no intact. Didn't appear to be not giving in. He did throw a fastball. It just missed his spot. First pitch on the way to Heim is 93 right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Jonah Heim 0 for 1 like everyone else in the lineup. Grounded out in the 3rd inning. Just 1 for 14 in the series. The 0-1 to Heim. Swing! And that ball's fouled straight back. Just missed that one. It's 0-2. Got an 0-2 count. Gallen still at just 55 pitches through 4 2/3. The 0-2 pitch. Rocks and fires. High and out of the zone. 1-2. One-two count. Righty, lefty. The pitch on the way. Swung on, chopped high. Baltimore chopper just going to roll foul in between home and first. It's a good thing for Heim. He was slow getting out of the box. He was watching it more than he was hustling down the bag. Runner on first, 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. 0-0 your score. Game 5. If Arizona can win, they'll force a game 6 back in Texas. If Texas wins, it's their first world championship ever. The 1-2 to Heim. Swung on, and that ball's popped back foul and out of play. We'll do it again. 1-2. Runner on first, 2 out. Gallen comes set. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chase that knuckle curve once again, and that'll end the inning. So Rangers finally get a base runner, still with no hits. We'll head to the bottom of the inning, scoreless in the desert.
Is Gen X okay? No, seriously, are you guys okay?
What kind of stupid question is that? We're fine. It is a cakewalk. We got like 900 TV channels and Prozac. Our kids are grown or almost grown, and our parents are either dead or too old to threaten to kill us every day. I brought you into this world. I could take you out of it. We didn't have anti-bullying campaigns. Our parents bullied us. The school had to take our pictures and fingerprint us in case we got kidnapped. We were like 30 years old when we were 12. Already smoking cigarettes, drinking our parents' liquor. We are older than Google, and no one had to tell us not to eat laundry detergent. So yeah, I mean, we're okay. We're okay.
There's a drive, deep right center field. That ball's got a chance. It's out of here.
Murph goes out and gets an outside pitch low and drives it over the right center field wall.
Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE. Braves Country today, Southern sports talk with the voice of Braves Country baseball, Mac Magee. Joined every day from sports analysts from all over Braves Country, talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5 weekdays right here on WQEE.
You can't imagine what it's like. And it was this grass that just went on forever. And the clay, the infield, the dirt of the infield was so brown, and the bases were so white. And the scoreboard with all of that news, what was happening in Detroit, and all the news. It was the news center. It was this big, gigantic place, and it was 461 feet to the center field fence. Then they had monuments, and I thought Babe Ruth was buried out there. They were like big tombstones. There was a great deal of respect in that building for the past.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Corbin Carroll. Swung on and popped up high in the sky. Right fielder Jankowski, he'll camp underneath it. He'll make the catch, and there's one away. Nothing, your score, bottom of 5. Eovaldi, 68 pitches in. The first pitch to Marte, off the plate wide, 85 miles an hour. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Eovaldi rifles it to home plate, pulls the string on the splitter, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 lets her go just off the plate wide, 95 miles an hour, 2-1. The 2-1 to Marte from the left side, the switch hitting second baseman. Pitch down and in, looked like it hit the zone, but the way Heim was set up, he had to kind of crossed himself up and had to backhand it, did not get the call. They're showing the overhead cam, and he definitely hit the zone, like I said, but It was the way he was set up. He was never going to get that call. The 3-1 pitch, swing, and fouls that out of play. It's 3-2. He was set up on the outer part of the plate and had to come back to the inside, backhanding it, crossing over the umpire's view. You rarely get that call. So a 3-2 count, one on, nobody out. On deck is Moreno. The payoff pitch from Eovaldi. Down and in, ball 4. Tried to get him to chase a splitter. That pitch was nowhere near the zone. Easy one to lay off of, and you got one on, one out. 74 pitches in. Gabriel Moreno will come to the plate, the number 3 hitter. Standing on deck is Walker. Moreno stands in, and the first pitch on the way is right there at the knees for a strike. Splitter. Good pitch by Eovaldi. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Turns and deals just off the plate, high and out of the zone. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Runner on first, one out. Here in the bottom of the 5th. No one has yet to crack the scoreboard. Texas has yet to get a base hit. The 1-1. Right there at the knees. Good splitter. It's 1-2. Moreno didn't like it, but it did look like it clipped the bottom of the zone. The 1-2. Texas infield is in double play depth. Pitch on the way. Caught looking, strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry, and there's 2 away. Engine number 9 going down the line, and he could not pull the trigger. So 2 down, and the cleanup hitter, Christian Walker, comes to the dish. First pitch on the way from Eovaldi. Swung on, rifled into right field. That is going to get down for a base hit. Jankowski cuts it off. Runner's going to go first to third. You'll have runners on the corners and 2 away. Good piece of hitting by Walker. Just took what Eovaldi gave him. It's a fastball on the outer edge, and he just drove it to right field. Stayed inside the ball. Good piece of hitting by Christian Walker. 90 feet away, the go-ahead run. We're just here in the bottom of the 5th. Quickly moving game is not a whole lot of base runners. But Tommy Pham might be the guy they want at the plate. He's been one of their hotter hitters. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Swung on. Bangs that foul down the third base line. 2 hopper. Just kicked foul. It's 0-1. Pham 0 for 2 with the fielder's choice and a ground out. He's batting 8 for 18 in this series with the home run and 2 RBI. The 0-1. Eovaldi comes set. Lifts the red glove and deals. Splitter on the way. Down and away. It's 1-1. On the play, Walker easily jogs up to first. They were not holding him on, and no attempt to try to throw him out at second. Coasts in there for what would most likely be defensive indifference, but it really isn't. The 1-1 pitch, down and in, 2-1. When the game is scoreless, the last thing you want to do is just give a base away. Now a single would give you a 2-0 lead, and with not being able to get a base hit yet, it feels like a commanding lead. Game is tied 0-0, but Arizona really feels like they have dominated it so far. The 2-1 pitch from Eovaldi just misses outside. Tried to get him to chase. It's 3-1. So he's gone curveball, fastball, then tried to get him to chase the cutter. A 3-1 count. Gurriel stands on deck. Eovaldi comes set. The pitch on the way. Down and in, ball 4. Ball gets away, but Heim blocks it. Eovaldi comes chase up to home plate to guard the plate. Did not quite get far enough away for Marte to score. Maddox is going to come out and talk to Eovaldi. Maddox going over the different options. As Gurriel's coming to the plate and really going over their game plan on how they want to attack Gurriel. In the bullpen is Bradford. And he's a left-hander. On deck, you've got Alec Thomas, a left-hander. So if Gurriel gets on, we may see Bradford. After that, it's back to the right-hander of Longoria. If Eovaldi can get through this inning, we will probably see him out there for the 6th. That's a long ways from now, as he's got to face Lourdes Gurriel, who had a single in the second. He's 6 for 16 in the series. First pitch on the way, swung on, grounded up the middle. Seager's got it, fires it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. That seemed to light a fire under Eovaldi. He's pumping his fists, shouting towards the dugout, and that'll end the inning. Once again, Arizona threatens but fails to score. We'll be back in a flash. Game 5 of the 2023 World Series.
I think we really need to be in front of a television set. You take TV out of this relationship, it is just torture.
It all starts with just one thing. When recycling, rinse out jars and cans, and avoid recycling wax paper or paper soiled with food. This will reduce recycling contamination. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
New Year's resolutions. We've all made them. Mine is the same every year. Eat healthier. The eat part usually works out fine. It's the healthier part I forget about. But not anymore, now that I've found the oh-so-chocolatey Built Bar. Built Bars are low-cal, low-sugar, high-protein, high-fiber. Great for keto. Lose or maintain weight while indulging in a yummy treat. At 130 calories, you'll feel like making a resolution every day. Try all 18 amazing flavors. Get yours at BuiltBar.com.
They're talking good about you. You want to read that Tweeter machine, man. Everybody's getting on that Tweeter machine. You want to read it. My Tweeter machine is turned off.
On October 1st, 1903, Nuffset and his Royal Rooters were among the first to pass through the turnstiles to see the Boston Pilgrims take on the Pittsburgh Pirates in the very first championship series between the two leagues. It would be a best-of-9 game contest. Realizing that this was a golden opportunity to prove the superiority of his new league, Van Johnson ordered the Boston owner to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had been favored to win, but Boston was aided by a series of disasters that undercut the Pirates. One pitcher had been injured. Their star shortstop, Honus Wagner, was playing hurt. And just as the series got underway, Ed Doheny, another pitcher, suffered a mental breakdown and was sent to an asylum.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Letty Taveras. He's grounded softly over to second. Making the play as Marte flips it over to first. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 6th. It's about that time to turn back time. We will squeeze these in as we go along. Zach Gallen working on a no-hitter through 5 1/3 in case you're just joining us. Righty-lefty matchup, pitch on the way, outside wide to Jankowski, the number 9 hitter. It's 1-0. Travis Jankowski 0 for 1 with a ground out. 2 for 5 in the series. The 1-0 pitch. Down and in, knuckle curve misses. 2-0. So a 2-0 count to TJ. Marcus Semien stands on deck. Seager in the hole. The 2-0. Outside wide, ball 3. Jankowski trying to become just the second base runner of the night. Still no hits for the Rangers. The 3-0. Rocks and fires right down the pipe, taking all the way is Jankowski. 3-1. Three-one count. Righty lefty. Pitch on the way. Swung on. Pops it up. High in the sky. Not very deep. Making the catch is Gurriel, and there's 2 away. On this date, 1942, in Major League Baseball history, the Brooklyn Dodgers replaced team president Larry McPhail, who accepted a commission in the U.S. Army in September, with Branch Rickey, formerly the Cardinals vice president, before resigning 3 days ago. The Brooklyn's new boss will guide the team to 2 pennants during his 8-year reign in the borough of Churches. First pitch to Semien is out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. Marcus Semien, 0 for 2 on the night. 5 for 21 in the series with a home run. The 1-0 to Marcus, swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. It's 1-1. Texas nothing, Arizona nothing. Top of 6th inning. Game 5 of the World Series. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and fouls it back. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, swing, and that ball is rifled down the left field line, but foul. Got out in front of it, just could not keep it straight. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Gallen. In the dirt, good take by Semien. Trying to get a chase that knuckle curve. 2-2. Two count, 2 outs. The pitch on the way. Swing and grounded, foul down towards the third base dugout. We'll do it again. Nothing, your score, a 2-2 count. Marcus Semien digs in. Gallen, 71 pitches on the night. A no-hitter intact. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with a fastball right down the pipe, and that'll end the inning. He is pitching a no-no through 6. here in game number 5 of the World Series.
That's right, folks. I just had 3 shots of Hennigan's and I don't smell. Imagine, you can walk around drunk all day. That's Hennigan's. No smell, no tell, scotch.
Hey, Braves Country. Braves Country HD is bringing you Braves Country Baseball. Braves Country comes to you every Tuesday night and Friday night, and 2 bonus games every week. Hi, I'm Mac Magee, and we'll be bringing you play-by-play, pitch-by-pitch of your Atlanta Braves. It's free to listen. Please like and subscribe. YouTube.com/@Braves Country. Braves Country Baseball for the fans, by the fans.
The 4-year stretch that Craig Kimbrell had in Atlanta was the best we've ever seen a closer be. He had 4 years in a row where he got 46 saves, 52 saves, 50, and 47. He was top 5 in Cy Young in 2 of those years, top 10 in all 4 of those years. And in that 52 save year, he had a 1.01 ERA.
You guys make proclamations. You don't make predictions. You're pompous. That's why you guys.
Well, why are you listening?
Gabish?
Why are you listening?
I listen because I hate you guys.
Armchair.
If you grew up in an American League city in the 1950s, you basically hated the Yankees. This was Casey's juggernaut, which won 9 pennants in 11 years, 5 World Series in a row. There's never been dominance like it at any other time in the history of baseball. Some people criticized Stengel and said he was just a push-button manager, but he knew which buttons to push. So a wonderful thing that he had, in addition to the great stars like Mantle and Ford and Berra, he had an ability to pick up players who were seemingly at the ends of their careers, spare parts, Johnny Hopp, Enos Slaughter, players who he knew could perform one particular role, who could fit into this grand scheme that he had. And God knows it worked.
Welcome back. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. Nothing your score. You're just joining us. Zach Gallen has a no-hitter through 6 innings. Back to our turn back time on this date. In 1968, Denny McLain is the unanimous choice for the American Cy Young Award winner. First pitch on the way to Eovaldi, from Eovaldi to Thomas is a swing and a miss, strike over the top. It's 0-1. The right-hander McLain was 31-6 in 1968. The 0-1 pitch, swing and lifts it high and deep down the left field line, giving Chase's Carter just out of play. Foul. It's 0-2. The 24-year-old Chicago native, who will cop the prestigious pitching prize again the following season, will also be named the junior circuit's MVP winner. The 0-2 to Thomas, swung on, chopped foul down the first base line. We'll do it again at 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Brad Bradford does look warmed up in the bullpen. The pitch on the way. Swing and chops that foul off the plate. 0-2 once again. Eovaldi at just 89 pitches. Hasn't had his best stuff, but he has fought his way through it. Tie game, bottom of the 6th. The 0-2 pitch, quick pitches, chopped over back to the mound. Eovaldi's got it, flips it over to first, and it's a 1-3 put out, 1 away. On this date in 2007, in an interview aired on MSNBC, Barry Bonds says he is prepared to boycott his induction when elected into the Hall of Fame if the museum accepts the ball he hit for the record-breaking 756th home run with a permanent asterisk. First pitch on the way to Longoria is fouled off back behind home plate. It's 0-1. Fashion designer Mark Ecko, who bought the historic ball for $752,000, is the 0-1 pitch from Eovaldi. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Releases the results from an internet poll where nearly half the fans are in favor of sending it to Cooperstown after branding the ball. Of course, Bonds never got elected to the Hall of Fame, so it's all been a moot point. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the splitter down below the knees, and there's 2 away. On this date, 2019, the New York Mets tapped their one-time player, Carlos Beltran, hire him to replace recently fired manager Mickey Callaway, who compiled a record of 163 and 161 during his 2 years at the helm. First pitch on the way to Perdomo is swung on, chopped foul down the line. It's 0-1. The 42-year-old slugger, with no managerial experience, inks a 3-year contract with a club option for 2023. Of course, it would just be a few weeks later that he would be relieved of his duties after being tied up in the trash can cheating scandal of the Houston Astros. The 0-1 pitch, down and in, it's 1-1. That's your turn back time for Major League Baseball history for November 1st, 2023. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball right there at the knees, taken all the way by Perdomo. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Eovaldi, 96 pitches in. Looks in. Time is called by Perdomo. Eovaldi will step back out. Sitting in the high 90s of pitches, this could be the last batter he faces for 2023. And if it is, it's a good one. Caught looking, strike 3. 95 right down the pipe, and that'll end the inning. Eovaldi, 97 pitches, scoreless, will head to the top of the 7th. Rangers still looking for a hit.
So, I'm getting an eye job.
An eye job? Ma, you don't need an eye job.
I'm out there,
No,
George.
you're not out there.
I am too.
You're not out there. You can't be, because I am out there. And if I see you out there, there's not enough voltage in this world to electroshock me back into coherence.
Armchair
presents the world's first star in your own radio commercial. Okay, guys, whenever you hear this sound, insert your name.
Hi there.
Braves country.
Sorry I'm late. Sometimes there just aren't enough hours in the day to be a neurosurgeon and a swimwear model. Oh, am I thirsty? How about it?
Braves country.
Got anything tall and cool? Oh, those.
Braves country.
You are so thoughtful. But of course,
Braves country.
The first choice for every occasion. You know, I have a confession to make. If I ever had a son, I'd want to name him
Braves country.
Oh.
Braves country.
Come here. Now.
Braves country. Braves country. Braves country.
Well, you did very well in your first commercial.
Braves country.
Have a
Braves country.
You've earned it.
Armchair.
I think those Boston fans actually won that series for the Pilgrims. We beat them 3 out of the first 4 games, and then they'd start singing that damn Tessie song. You could hardly play ball. They were singing Tessie so damn loud. Like when Honus Wagner came to bat, they'd sing, Honus, why do you hit so badly?
The Boston Americans made it 5 victories out of 8 games played, which gives them a clear title to the highest honor ever achieved in baseball, Boston Globe.
The games proved so popular that the 2 leagues decided to hold a championship series every year. A team from Boston had beaten a team from Pittsburgh just 650 miles away, but the owners insisted on calling it the World Series.
The 1-1 pitch, down and in, it's 1-1. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, chopped foul down the line. It's 0-2. Releases the results from an internet poll where nearly half the fans are in favor of sending it to Cooperstown after branding the ball. Of course, it would just be a few weeks later that he would be relieved of his duties after being tied up in the trash can cheating scandal of the Houston Astros. So a 1-2 count. Eovaldi, 97 pitches, scoreless, will head to the top of the 7th. Rangers still looking for a hit. Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Zach Gallen is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Gallen, a no-hitter through 6 innings. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss at the knuckle curve. 1-1. The 1-1. Rocks and fires. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Nobody on. Nobody out. The pitch on the way. Swung on, that ball is laced into left field against the shift, and that'll be the first base hit by the Texas Rangers. They were playing an honest defense. It would have been a harmless dribbler to third base, but instead it's a first base runner for the Texas Rangers. See if Gallen pitches any different now with the no-no gone. First pitch on the way to Carter is off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Texas nothing. Arizona nothing. Top of the 7th inning. The 1-0 to Carter. Righty lefty. Swing, and that ball is rifled into the right field towards the gap. Cutting it off is Carroll. Good job. He will cut it off and prevent the run from scoring, but it is a double by Evan Carter, and the Texas Rangers have runners on second and third. Nobody out. That'll bring a trip to the mound by the pitching coach of Arizona. Brent Strom's going to head out there. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Strom is going to head back to the dugout, going over a game plan with Gallen. Be interested to see how they play the defense here. Can't imagine you want to play him in because a hit would be 2 runs at that point. First pitch on the way to Garver is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Mitch Garver, 79 pitches into the night for Zach Gallen. They are about halfway in, so a bit of a gamble here. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled up the middle, and that is going to be a base hit. Texas scores. It's 1-0, and they will hold the runner at third as the outfield was playing pretty shallow. Got the ball back in quickly was Thomas. Runners on the corners, nobody out, and it's 1-0 Texas Rangers. Drilled it back up the middle. I think he would have scored, but they held him up. Carter got a pretty good jump, but they held him up, not wanting to run out of the inning. First pitch on the way to Young is a swing and a miss strike, down and away. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty. Gallen comes set. Pitch, kicks, and deals. Swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Standing on deck is Nathaniel Lowe. Heim is in the hole. Runners on the corners and nobody out. Texas leading 1-0. Gallen looking over his shoulder. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Pumped it right by him. About hands high, and there's one away. Big out there for Gallen. And that's going to bring Lovello to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. Looks like he's going after. Looks like it'll be the southpaw to face Lowe. We will be back in a flash. It's 1-0 Texas. Runners on the corners. 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
American history lesson. You don't know nothing about Lady Liberty. Standing there in the harbor with her torch on high, screaming out to all the nations of the world, send me your poor, your deadbeats, you filthy. And all the nations sent them in here. They come swarming in like ants. And they're all free to live where they feel safe. And they bust your head if you go in there. That's what makes America great, buddy.
Braves Country today. We're talking Southern sports. We go live 3 to 5. Weekdays, Braves Country today. Southern sports talk. Talking college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and what's trending in the world of sports. Braves Country today. We go live 3 to 5. Weekdays.
Here's Jackson, the last time at bat possibly in Reggie Jackson's career. Listen to the crowd. Broken bat up the middle, base hit, Reggie Jackson.
Anyone else find functional alcoholics fascinating? Like, these will drink a 30-pack of the most disgusting beer on earth, get blackout drunk, and then wake up the next morning at 6:30 a.m. and go to a manual labor job in the direct sunlight where they work all day. The only thing that they'll consume is like a gas station hot dog and Mountain Dew, and they will be totally fine. And then when they're done work, go right back to drinking again and do the whole thing all over.
One of the things about baseball is the imagination of people. When something remarkable happens, I was there in their imaginations. When Babe Ruth allegedly pointed to right field bleachers before hitting his home run there against the Cubs in that World Series, I've had at least maybe 100 people tell me I was there. If everybody who said they were there really at Cubs Park would seat 500,000 people.
Welcome back. Zach Gallen has been lifted. He should be getting a standing ovation. Pitched one hell of a game. 6 no-hit innings. The Arizona offense just gave him no help. First pitch on the way from Ginkel to Lowe. Misses up top for a ball. It's 1-0. Lavello motioned for the left-hander in the bullpen, but this is the righty. The 1-0. Curveball on the outer edge. Taken for a strike. It's 1-1. Ginkel, normally the 8th inning setup man. Desperate times, desperate measures here. The 1-1. Ginkel comes set. Pitch on the way. Down and in. 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Runners on the corners. 1 out. Texas leads 1-0. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and chops it over to first. They're going to come home with it. They got him in a rundown. And Carter doing a good job of keeping himself in the rundown. And the runners will be safe at first and second. He was trying to buy time to get the runner to come on around to third, but no such luck. He definitely stayed in the pickle long enough to be able to get that runner to come around to third, but he was hesitant to come around. So runners on first and second, 2 out. Bruce Bochy's coming out here to argue something. Not quite sure what his beef would be. Unless he thought that ball was foul. Lowe acted as though he thought it was foul. Did not look foul looking at the replay. So back to work. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. A big out there for Arizona, keeping them in the game. Jonah Heim comes to the plate. He takes the first pitch, 97 miles an hour outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Jonah Heim, 0 for 2, ground out, strikeout, just 1 for 15 in this series. The 1-0, rocks and fires, right there, inner cut. Just misses getting the call. It's 2-0. 97 miles an hour down the pipe. So a 2-0 count to Heim. Texas leads 1-0. 1 run coming in this inning. Their first hits coming in this inning. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on, pops it up. High in the sky. Will it stay in play? Chasing is Moreno. He'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. So Ginkel puts out the fire. Will head to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch. It could be the last time for 2023. 7th inning. Here we go.
All right. I can't see you. Let me hear you. Oh, 1, 2, 3. We out to the ball game. Hey, we out to the find me something up crack her down. I don't care if I am yes, I go root for them.
It's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3, stretch around and be home again. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Let me root.
You sound better tonight.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from Elrod Chapman is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Chapman kicks and fires. Carroll swings and drives it towards left field, but coming under, making the catch. Running catch is Carter for out number 1. Texas now 8 outs away from their very first World Series championship. Lefty righty. Switch hitter Marte to the plate. First pitch on the way. 99 off the block. It's 1-0. Marte, 5 for 19 in this series. The 1-0 pitch. Down and away, 100 miles an hour, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Marte knows he's just trying to get on, representing the tying run. The 2-0. Out of the zone. Ball 3, 3-0. 3-0 from Chapman. The 3-0 pitch. Down and in. Ball 4. So Marte works a 4-pitch walk. Chapman, you're just joining us. Texas scored after a single against the shift, got Seager aboard, and he came around to score on a single. Texas had runners on second and third on that single. They did not send Carter, though it did look like he would have made it. And with runners on the corners and 1 out, they were able to work out of that jam. So just 1-0 could have been much worse. At one point, runners on the corners and nobody out. First pitch on the way from Chapman to Moreno, high and out of the zone, 100 miles an hour, 1-0. That is now the 5th ball in a row. And 6 of the 7 pitches he has thrown out of that bullpen have been out of the zone. The 1-0. Pitch on the way, right there for a strike. Finally finds the zone. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Right-handers Boers warming up in the bullpen. The 1-1 pitch, swing, and fouls it down the line. It's 1-2. One-two count. Runner on first, 1 out. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the 101 mile an hour heater up top. And there's 2 away. Good pitch up top. Handcuffed him. That'll bring Bochy out. Bochy is going to go to Spores as Arizona is going to try and tie this thing up. Arizona 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. We will be back in a flash. Texas 7 outs away from their first world championship. Arizona 2 runs away from forcing a game number 6.
Hey, do you want to hang out tonight? Yeah, sure. What time were you thinking? I gotta run home real quick, so why don't we meet up around 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock? Yeah. PM? Yes. Tonight? Yes. On purpose? Yeah, I was thinking that maybe we can get together at 9 since it's early in the night. That's early? Listen, just come on over and then we're gonna meet up with my friends. They said the door opens around 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock? Yes. PM? Oh my God.
Armchair.
Little League World Series is the worst sporting event in America on a yearly basis.
False. Not.
That is the truth.
No.
First of all, they're pretending to be 12. Some of them are 14. Some of them are 15. The umpiring is terrible. The play is terrible. Everything about the Little League World Series is bad. Why do you watch it?
I love the game because I grew up in New York City in the late 1940s and 50s, which was the greatest intersection of baseball and place in history. We had 3 major league teams. All of them were good, were great. Between 1947 and 1956, a New York team was in the World Series every year and won.
Now it's the 10th inning. Pitcher Bob Lemon works hard on Willie Mays. This time, though, he walks you. You want to steal second, and you ask for the sign from Leo.
Duke Steiner, Dodgers center fielder, is the hero of this game. Steiner is doubled to right in the first inning, drove in 2 runs, and the Brooks were off and running. Boom, another double for Snyder. Hail the Duke of Flatbush.
Baseball was almost a private possession of New York City, and you'd walk around through the city in October, and the sounds of baseball were everywhere, from cab radios, taverns. People come out of taverns. During the season, you'd see a man come out of a tavern and say, Campy just hit one. You were aware of the ribbon of baseball going on around you.
Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back. Josh Spores comes on. Right-hander fires the first pitch to Christian Walker. Well off the plate, wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Walker, 1 for 2. A walk, a single, a stolen base. Righty, runner on first, 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Heim. 2-0. So a 2-0 count. All eyes are on the runner at first. The tying run could be on the move. Try and get in scoring position. The 2-0. Spores comes set. Lets her go. Swing and fouls it down the line. It's 2-1. Christian Walker, 1 for 2 on the night. 6 for 20 in the series. Tommy Pham stands on deck. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced towards center field. Making the catch is Tavares, and that'll end the inning. So Arizona once again puts a runner on, fails to score. We will be back in a flash. 1-0. Texas, we head to the 8th.
Mouse, mice, right? House, heist. It makes sense, man. You right,
No,
bro.
you all are making up words. These words you've never heard. Like, just because it rhymes doesn't make it a word. Like, listen, like, I don't understand. Like, we went to the same school. I don't know where we missed each other and how the lines across. I don't know what happened. I don't. But listen, that's not a word. It's just house.
So it's okay for you to make up words, but we can't.
I'm not making up words. Look, I'm done, bro. Trying to help y'all grow, man. You teaching 5-year-olds me. I'm scared for our future.
It's very important that when you get in the batter's box to prepare to hit a baseball, you're fearless. You can't be scared of getting hit with the ball. If you're scared of getting hit with a ball, if you're back on your heels and a scout's watching in the stands, he's going to put a big X down by your name. It means you have no chance of ever becoming a baseball player. So don't be scared of getting hit with the ball. Look at it like this. If you get hit with the ball, you get to go to first base. That makes it faster to get around the home and score a run. So we're not scared. We're in the batter's box. Now, the next thing, we got to get a stance that feels comfortable to us. Don't try to copy my stance, or don't copy George Brett's stance or Wade Boggs' stance or Mike Schmidt's stance. Get the stance that's comfortable to you. I just happen to have a stance that's pretty well spread out because I hit off my back foot. And don't worry about how you stand or how you look. And I don't hit the ball on the plate. If I hit it over the plate, that's a foul ball. So you hit the ball out in front of the plate, 8 inches out in front of the plate. You have to hit the ball out in front in order to hit a fair ball.
My first memory of baseball is radio, listening on the car radio to Red Barber talking from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. My father wanted to know how the games were going on. He was following Brooklyn. My mother and I was an only child, driving in the car, began to listen, I suppose, out of self-defense. And both of us, at about the same time, my mother and I, became caught up in the drama of the game.
DiMaggio swinging at the whistling line drive to left center field. It's a base hit. It's taken on the second hop.
Welcome back. What could be the final 2 innings of the 2023 season. Five days after the World Series does end, a new clock begins. Major League Baseball free agency. First pitch on the way is dropped down for a bunt by Tavares. The ball is thrown over to first. Quick throw, just got him by about a half step. Good play by Longoria. There's one down. Evan Longoria had to hurry up. That ball was dropped down in front. He had to barehand it, avoid the pitcher, and fire the ball off of his front foot. A perfect strike over to first. Good scoop by Walker, one down. Ginkel goes back to work. The first pitch on the way to Jankowski. It's down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Jankowski, 2 for 6 in the series. Garcia's in because of Adolis Garcia's injury. The 1-0 pitch, down and in, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. They checked down the third base line, but he did not go. Garcia's in the dugout, but he is not in uniform. The 2-0 pitch, outside wide. Called for a wide strike, 2-1. Ginkel will take it, but looked like it just missed the zone. The 2-1 pitch, down and in, ball 3. So a 3-1 to Jankowski, top of the order, will follow. 1 down, top of the 8th, 1-0 Texas. The 3-1 pitch, outside wide, ball 4. Jankowski will head down to first. Runner on first. 1 out. Texas Rangers looking for their first World Series, established in 1961. They were originally the Washington Senators. The second go-round. First pitch on the way to Simeon is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Simeon 0 for 3. The 1-0 swung on, fouled back, evens up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 count. They're going to flip it over to first to keep Jankowski close by. Texas Rangers started playing baseball as the Washington Senators in 1961. They became the Texas Rangers in 1972 and have been there ever since. The 1-1 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled into right field. It is down for a base hit. Jankowski's going to slam on the brakes at second. You got runners on first and second. 1 out, top of the 8th. Two on. Corey Seager comes to the plate. Of course, Seager, for my money, would be the World Series MVP right now. He's hit 3 home runs in the World Series, and some big ones at that. They're going out and having a quick talk to Ginkel. This is just the 3rd American League pennant for the Rangers. Won it in 2010 and 11, and of course, 2023. Got in via the wild card this year, just their second wild card berth. They have won 7 division titles. Ginkel comes set, pitch on the way, swing, and fouls it back out of play. He reached for that one out of the zone. It's 0-1. Chris Young, their general manager. How about him? Became the general manager in 2020. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, chopped foul down the line. It's 0-2. Quick to turn this team back around. Of course, it helps when you got deep pockets, but nonetheless, he had to make the right decisions. He quit playing baseball in 2017. As the 0-2 pitch misses high, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Runners on first and second. 1 down, the pitch on the way. Up high, 97 miles an hour, misses. 2-2. The 2-2. Ginkel fires, down and in. Curveball misses. 3-2. So a full count, which means the runners will be on the move. Anything that splits the outfielders would score 2. The 3-2 pitch, down and away, ball 4. Bases loaded. Here on the top of the 8th. You got speed all over the base paths. And coming to the plate, the rookie, Evan Carter. Would this not be a big moment for him? Righty-lefty matchup, first pitch, down below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. Four-seam fastball misses, 96 miles an hour. The 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. Warming up in the bullpen is the Arizona closer, Sewald. He is getting up in a hurry, quickly flipping it back and forth. So he just began warming up. The 2-0 to Carter, right there down the pipe, taken all the way, 2-1. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the 8th inning. Texas leads just 1-0. Looking for some breathing room. The pitch on the way. Taken again, 96 miles an hour, right down the belt. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Carter was bending out of the way, but that pitch got quite a bit of the plate. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Carter down on strikes. All in all, a pretty bad at bat, and they're still away. He had a couple of pitches that came right down the pipe that he could have at least lifted to bring a runner in. Instead, bases are loaded and 2 outs. Ginkel 1 out away from getting out of this. First pitch on the way to Garver is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Tried to get him to chase that 88-mile-an-hour slider down below the knees. The 1-0, righty-righty. Pitch on the way, taken all the way, 96 miles an hour, 1-1. So a 1-1 count, bases juiced, ducks all over the pond. Texas leads 1-0. The pitch swung on, foul back out of play. We'll do it again. So you got to figure Ginkel may go to that slider again to get him to chase out of the zone. But he's got to be ready for the 96 up top. So a bit of a cat and mouse game here. Texas 1, Arizona 0. Top of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Down and away. Did try to get him to chase that slider. Good take by Garver. 2-2. Deuce is wild here in the desert. 2-2. 2 outs. Bases juiced. A single would score 2. Ginkel shaking off the hind catcher 2 or 3 times. Here's the pitch. Swung on and dribbled up the middle. It should be playable. Perdomo's got it. Flips it over to first. And it's a 4-3 putout. Ginkel pumps his arms after getting out of his own mess. That'll end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Diamondbacks 0. Texas 1.
Our football team, some aspects look like we're really ready to play. A couple of other aspects look like we just got off Willie Nelson's tour bus.
It all starts with just one thing. When recycling, rinse out jars and cans, and avoid recycling waxed paper or paper soiled with food. This will reduce recycling contamination. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
You get the gist of what's going on here. I know what you're doing. You're looking down on us. A couple small market Midwest ball players. Just because we're not big city, just like you. Mr. New York City, Mr. National Television Star, with your Fifth Avenue ties and your crisp pocket squares, your tailored suits and your polished shoes, and your hair, your perfectly coiffed Broadway hair. Must be nice to sit atop that Madison Avenue ivory tower, looking down on us with those luscious locks. Not everyone can be the next Roger Peckinpah. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a disgrace.
Armchair.
Before the 1934 season began, Dizzy announced that he and his younger brother Paul, whom the press insisted on calling Daffy, would together win 45 to 50 games. They did. Dizzy won 30 and Paul won 19.
Brother Jerome, better known as Dizzy. This is my brother Paul Dean, better known as Daffy. We're both full of ambition against those Tigers.
The Cardinals faced the Detroit Tigers in the 1934 World Series. In the 4th game, Dizzy Dean, running to second, was hit in the head with a ball fielded by the shortstop.
Rogel, in throwing to first, struck the Dean squarely in the forehead with the ball.
The throw knocked Dean senseless, and he was rushed to the hospital. Headlines the next day said, X-rays of Dean's head showed nothing.
pitch on the way to Tommy Pham, leading off the 8th inning. Down and away by Spores. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. High and inside. 2-0. So a 2-0 count to Pham. Righty, righty. The pitch on the way. Nowhere near the zone. 3-0. Texas 1, Arizona nothing. Bottom of the 8th. The pitch. Right there inside first strike. It's 3-1. Tommy Pham started to make his way down towards first base. Thought it missed inside. Appeared to just clip the inner part of the zone. The 3-1 to Pham. Swing! And that ball's fouled down the line. 95-mile-an-hour fastball sawed off over the first base side. It's 3-2. Lourdes Gurriel stands on deck. Righty, righty. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him. Blew it right by him. Right in there on the hands, and there's one away. Texas Rangers 5 outs away from their very first World Series championship. The first pitch on the way to Gurriel, swung on, banged on the ground. Seager's got it, fires it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out. There's 2 away. Quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. That'll bring up Alec Thomas. Thomas, the number 7 hitter, excuse me. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Over the top, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and deals, swung on, rifle back up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. And the tying run stands on first with 2 outs. Evan Longoria coming to the plate. They could pinch hit as they pinch hit before for Longoria. We'll see what they decide to do here. Spores tried to get his glove down. Could not quite get there. It will be Smith coming to the plate from the left side. Pavin Smith pinch hitting for Longoria, which means in the 9th inning, you will get Rivera at third. They're going to go out there and talk to Spores for a second, talk this over for him. Smith is in his 4th year in the major leagues. Pavin Smith, 27-year-old, out of Jupiter, Florida. Former first-round pick, number 7 overall out of Virginia. He played for those very good Virginia championship teams. Smith this year, if you're wondering, had 191 at bats, 7 home runs, a low average, 188, but a 642 OPS. Back to work, Spores kicks and deals. The first pitch, Bender in the dirt. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty-lefty. Standing on deck is Perdomo. The pitch on the way. Right there for a strike, 97 miles an hour. Just kisses the black. It's 1-1. Leclerc is warming up in the Ranger bullpen. The 1-1 comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing and fouls that away. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Spores comes set. The pitch in the dirt. Did he go around? They're going to check down the third base line. He did not. Looked like he might have offered, but third base umpire Quinn Walcott says no dice. If it evens up the count at 2-2. Nasty curveball in the dirt. Somehow Smith was able to hold up. Runner on first. 2 outs. 2-2 count. Runner will be going at the crack of the bat. The pitch. Swing and fouls it down the left field line. Well out of play, 98 miles an hour. Couldn't quite catch up with that. We'll do it again at 2-2. Deuces wild here in the desert. A 2-2 count. 2 outs. And Pavin Smith digging in. Spores come set. The right-hander deals. Caught looking. Strike 3. Got him with the bender on the outer edge, and that'll end the inning. What a pitch by Spores. Will head to the 9th inning. The Texas Rangers are 3 outs away from a world championship.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
When a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to become this country.
Armchair.
One of the biggest scandals in baseball history is the throwing of the 1919 World Series by the Chicago White Sox. Even though all 8 players who were accused were acquitted in 1921, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis handed down a lifetime ban that included the Hall of Fame. Shoeless Joe Jackson should be reinstated and put in the Hall of Fame. Reason number 1, his stats during the series. His 12 base hits set a series record that wasn't broken until 1964. He led both teams with a .375 batting average in the series. He committed no errors and threw out a runner at home plate. He also hit the only home run by either team in the series. Reason number 2, he never took any money. On 2 different occasions, he refused a $5,000 bribe even though it would have almost doubled his salary at the time. Reason number 3, he tried to tell White Sox owner Charles Comiskey, but Comiskey refused to meet him. Reason number 4, years after the scandal, the other 7 players confirmed that Jackson was never present at any of the meetings and his name was mentioned only to give them more credibility to the gamblers. Reason number 5, a lawyer manipulated him into signing a document he didn't fully understand. Jackson never learned to read or write, so there was no way he knew what he was signing at the time.
All tied up in the 8th, Mickey Mantle facing Preacher Rowe. The Oklahoma kid parked it in the left field seats.
Watching it on TV in New York with Willie, Mickey, and the Duke, and the arguments on the corner, and that was it.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Josh Young. Swung on, fired into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and it's a leadoff single for the Texas Rangers. Perfect timing of that swing. Sent it right back where it came from. First pitch on the way from Sewald to Lowe. He's low and outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Paul Sewald, normally the closer for Arizona, the 1-0 pitch right there at the knees. Guess they're going to say that was low. Ball 2-0. Rivera did come in to play third base. So a 2-0 count. Bottom of the ninth, you will have the top of the order for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The 2-0 pitch swung on. That ball is laced into left field against the shift. And the Rangers once again have traffic all over the base paths. Here in the top of the ninth, leading by a run, but trying to get some insurance if possible. Good piece of hitting by Lowe, stepped into it and shot it just past the outstretched glove. On the shortstop side. So 2 on, nobody out, and Heim comes to the plate. Pitch to Heim is swung on. That ball is rifled into the center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It's behind Carroll. Carroll overruns the ball. And here comes the runners. They are coming around to score. It is 3-0 Texas. I think I misspoke on that. Thomas overran the ball. Carroll had to run it down. Alec Thomas, trying to come up firing, overran the ball. Just ball went underneath his glove. Luckily for the Diamondbacks, Carroll was busting it over in that direction. With his speed, he ran it down. But you got runners on third, nobody out, and Texas leads at 3-0. Think you would have had probably a 2-0 lead with runners on the corners if he comes up with that ball. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, rifled, foul and out of play. It's 1-1. If you're scoring at home, it would be a single and an error. Infield drawn in. The 0-1 to Letty. In the dirt, good backhanded stop by Moreno, 1-1. The 1-1. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss up top. It's 1-2. Yeah, they keep showing that replay. He just overran it underneath the glove. Three nothing your score, top of the ninth inning. Runner on third. One out. Jankowski the batter. Sewald, 9 pitches in this inning. He comes set. The pitch to Jankowski. Swung on. That ball is dribbled over towards short. It's going to get cut off by Perdomo. He'll fire it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out with the infield in, and there's 2 away. First pitch on the way to Marcus Semien is swung on and sawed off, fouling out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1, righty. Kicks and deals. Swing! And that ball is belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a, ding-dong, a 2-run shot and a 5 spot on the board. It's 5-0, the Texas Rangers. Holy cow, did he plant that one. He sent that into the left field seats in a hurry. 406 feet, 99 miles an hour off the bat. Sewald knew at the moment he swung, and it's 5-0. Texas hits the over. Texas Rangers have kicked open the door towards their first World Series championship ever. The first pitch on the way to Seager is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Seager, 1 for 3. The 0-1 pitch. Rocks and fires, swung on, chopped it down towards the third base side. It'll get scooped up by Rivera, but Seager will make it down to first. And there's 1 on, 2 out. Semien hasn't had a great series, but he's had 2 big home runs. I can't help but laugh at Scherzer, who's over there screaming in the dugout like he's done anything to win this one. First pitch on the way to Carter is off the plate wide, but called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, righty-lefty. Pitch on the way, down and in, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. I don't know if y'all saw that. For those of y'all listening on radio, they flashed over to the Texas dugout, and most of the Texas players, as the 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back out of play, it's 1-2. They were sticking their arms up and, you know, basically, yeah, we did it. And you see Scherzer in the background. He's going bananas, screaming at the top of his lungs. His eyes are already weird looking as it is, and they're crossing over. And like, dude, you've been the worst player on this team by far. The 1-2 pitch misses high and out of the zone, 2-2. The only good thing about that is, you know, that is eating some Mets fans alive right now. So a 2-2 count. Runner on first, 2 outs. Deuces wild in the desert. The pitch inside almost gets him. Carter has to bend out of the way, full count. Standing on deck, Mitch Garver. Texas has kicked the door open to a 5-0 lead here in the 9th. So all trying to keep it where it is to give Arizona any hope of coming back. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the bender on the outer edge, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Texas Rangers put 4 on the board. It's 5-0. We're heading to the bottom of the 9th. Texas chasing down 3 outs for a world championship.
Hey, rookie! You were good.
For those of you who have seen Field of Dreams, and for those of you who haven't, I'm going to tell you the story of Moonlight Graham. Archibald Wright Moonlight Graham was born on November 12, 1876 in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Some say he got his nickname because of his speed. Others say he got his nickname because he moonlighted at a second job in the offseason. He played minor league baseball for 6 seasons until he finally got his chance in the big leagues with the New York Giants in 1905. On June 29th, he would finally make it into a game against Brooklyn at Washington Park. Graham would replace right fielder George Brown at the end of the 8th inning. Unfortunately for Graham, he never got a chance to bat. In the top of the 9th, he would be left in the on-deck circle when Claude Elliott flied out for the 3rd out of the inning. He would play right field in the bottom half of the inning, but never recorded a putout or an assist. Soon after, he returned to the minors where he played until 1908. In 1908, he had to retire due to chronic respiratory problems. He never got another chance to play in the big leagues. In 1911, an American League scout found out he was playing semi-pro ball and asked him to join the Red Sox, but he declined the offer. After baseball, he became the Chisholm School Doctor in Minnesota for over 50 years. Sometimes he would take the students out to the field, where he would throw baseballs from home plate over the left field wall, a distance of 335 feet. In 1965, he became ill and passed away at the age of 88.
Baseball sports are the streets and the lots in the old neighborhoods. We had to build the backstop. We had to build the mound. We had to put down the line. Actually, we had a saint of a man by the name of Joe Austin, a night manager in a brewery who was single, who had played semi-pro ball, and who was the godfather of baseball for this community. And he built the field, the players helping him. And we played there on weekends, had a very, very good team, even got uniforms after a while. And that's where I learned the game. And it was wonderful.
Welcome back. Ronald Perdomo will lead off the bottom of the 9th. First pitch on the way to Perdomo. Right there for a strike. It's gone. Spores is still out there, so he may be the one that finishes the game. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball right there at the knees. Teardrop over the caps. It's 0-2. Texas 3 outs away from their first ring ever. The 0-2 pitch, outside wide, 1-2. If you haven't heard us say it before, we'll repeat it. Plan is for 2024 to bring you just about every game here on Braves Country Radio. The 1-2 pitch, swing, and fouls that down the left field line. We'll do it again. Leclerc is still warming up in the Texas bullpen. I think they're just kind of waiting to see if they need him. The 1-2. Curveball caught, looking, strike 3. Perdomo didn't like it. It might have been a touch low, but with 2 strikes in the 9th inning of the World Series, you've got to swing the bat. Bruce Bochy 2 outs away from yet another World Series title. This one was a little more bought than the other ones in San Francisco, nonetheless. Corbin Carroll come to the plate. First pitch to Carroll is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swung on, pops it up high in the sky, behind home plate. Jonah Heim steps back, squeezes it for out number 2. So 2 outs. You got to feel for these Arizona fans. They've had a heck of a ride. Knocking out the Brewers, the Dodgers, the Phillies. Coming back home tied 1 apiece. Texas just too much to handle. First pitch on the way to Marte is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Ketel Marte 0 for 1, 3 walks. 5 for 19 in the series. The 1-0 pitch. Righty-lefty. Swing! And rifles that back foul off of Heim. It might have actually got a piece of home plate umpire Brian Knight as well. So a 1-1 count. 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Curveball top of the zone, strike 2. Arizona is down to their last strike of 2023. Spores come set. The 1-2 pitch. 97 miles an hour. Man, was that close to take. Evens up the count at 2-2. Did appear to be inside, but that is a very, very gutsy take by Marte. He could have easily been meat. The 2-2 pitch from Spores. Curveball caught, looking, strike 3. And here comes a Texas-sized dog pile. That's it. The Texas Rangers have brought home their first World Series title in the history of the organization. 5-0 your score as the Rangers bring home a championship to the Lone Star State. Pour you a cold one, Texas. It's been 62 years in the making. They are storming the field as you would expect. 5-0 your score. Nathan Eovaldi will get yet another win. 5-0 in this postseason, and continues to prove that he is absolutely money in October. Congratulations, Texas. Congratulations to their fans. Tip of the cap to Nathan Eovaldi, and a tip of the cap to the Arizona Diamondbacks, who had the grit to win the National League pennant, who took out the division champ Brewers, who took out the division champ Dodgers, who took out the Philadelphia Phillies, the defending National League pennant winners. They just could not get the bats going at home. And Texas wins this one 5-0. They win the series 4-1. And all eyes are on Texas. Y'all have a great night. Y'all enjoy the night in the Lone Star State. Rangers win. Rangers win. The Texas Rangers win the 2023 World Series. It has been a pleasure bringing y'all pitch by pitch, play by play. We will be back in the spring, bringing you every single game during spring training. We will be bringing you as many games as possible during the regular season on Braves Country Radio. And hopefully this season ends a little better for the Braves fans, but tonight it's about the Texas Rangers. Have a good night, y'all. Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium, his record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby, when pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, closed to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine.